Well, good morning, viewers. Today we have a 2017 Kia Sorento. And the customer complained that he was in some slippery area recently and the front wheels were spinning but the back wheels weren't. So it's an all-wheel drive and I've got the vehicle in the air right now, and I noticed the axle shaft turns on the left side, but it doesn't turn the other side through the differential. When I turn the right wheel, it turns the right axle going into the differential, but it doesn't turn the left axle, which is odd. And normally through the differential there would be, if you turn this wheel backwards like this, the other wheel should turn forward. I wonder if we should check the fluid to see if there's any metal filings or anything in there. I've scanned it. Let's have a look at the report. So here's a look at the report. No codes in engine, transmission, ABS, airbag, front lighting, AC, blind spot, body, central gateway, cluster door, power steering, and four-wheel drive control. There's one code in the smart junction box, something to do with the headlamp low on the right side and the low ignition voltage in the weight classification module. So I'm going to have a look at the differential oil quality. So looking inside the differential, the oil looks fairly clean, mind you. It's been sitting all night, but I'm turning the differential on the left side, and you notice the axle side gear seems to be spinning on the spline there. Let's try turning the right side. Oh, that's weird. The case is turning. I wonder if I can get in closer. Not really. No, my borescope's dead. Oh well, let's recharge it. So to access the fill plug, there's a rubber plug in the subframe here, because the plug is in back, and you need a 15/16 socket. But I'm going to drain the oil out of it and capture it in a clean container. So there's the drain plug. And there's a magnet on the drain plug, and there's some metal filings on the magnet. But not as much as I'd expect to find if all the splines were stripped off of the axle side gear. The oil is very dark. Let's have a look at the oil. It's quite dark. Doesn't hold very much. It was full. Maybe like 1 cup, 1.5 cups. I'm going to try and run it. Well, the drive shaft doesn't turn because the transmission's in park. And I turn both wheels in the same direction, like nothing's connected inside there. Now, this does have a coupler, so that could be that the coupler between the pinion, I put the drivetrain in locked. It shows a four-wheel locked symbol, but that doesn't necessarily lock the differential. That might lock the transfer case. So I'm going to try and run it on the hoist and see if it spins the back tires. So I got the front wheel spinning, drive shaft turning, Differential supposedly locked and nothing happening. I'm going to look inside there. So when I look inside there with the bore scope, nothing's turning. The carrier's not turning, so, and the differential, according to the message here, says shows locked. See the indicator on the dash showing four-wheel drive. Well, let's look up case histories on it and see if we can find anything. So I'm on Identifix and I loaded the VIN number and did a keyword search for differential, and I find one here that says there's a popping noise in the rear diff when turning. Well, we don't have that. But just reading this case, it says rotate the right wheel and verify the left wheel rotates smoothly in the opposite direction. That's normally what you'd see if the differential is working, but this has a coupler, so it could turn the differential case if the coupler is not engaged. But it says rotate the wheel, one should turn one way and the other one turn the other way smoothly. If the rear drive shaft is locked into and rotating the rear differential, the electronic hydraulic actuator coupler has been damaged. Actuator coupler should only engage the drive shaft to the rear differential when power and ground is duty cycled to the electronic hydraulic actuator coupling from the four-wheel drive electronic control unit. But I'm reading cases here. Check fluid condition, found chunks of metal. Rear differential, rear differential, rear differential, rear differential. Now there's not a lot of, there's some metal filings in there and the oil looks quite dark, like it's got metal in it. But I'm not sure that's enough. Replace four-wheel drive coupling. I'm going to look around for some more information. Well, this is strange. I went into the four-wheel drive control module to look at some data and I thought I'd scan it for codes. And I got a U0123 lost comm with yaw rate sensor module and a P1832 clutch thermal overstress shutdown history codes. I didn't get those codes when I scanned it originally. Let's look at the report. Maybe it didn't scan it for whatever reason. No, it showed no codes. That's right. It was green. So four-wheel drive showed no issues. So I don't know if I generated these codes by running on the hoist, but I don't think it would have done that. Wow, that's weird. Let's clear the codes and see what happens. Looking in that, I drained that oil out of that container, there's very, very small amounts of metallic filings in the oil. Let's see if there's a functional test for that lock mode select, torque coupling control, four-wheel drive lamp. Let's see what this does. Key on, engine off, park range, and no DTCs. Continue. Torque coupling on. I never heard any. It's making business-like noises. Let's try turning the wheels. You can hear the motor running. Zoom out a bit. But the wheels are not locked. Let's go see if it said any codes. Off. Let's get set up here. Exit. Lock mode select. Key on, engine off, park, no DTCs. Let's try this again. No sound whatsoever. I'm going to go turn the wheels. No, it's not locked. Let's see if it set any codes. Codes. No codes. Let's see if it shows data. That bidirectional test doesn't give the option to view data at the same time. Rear wheel speed, front wheel speed, rear wheel speed, front wheel speed, drive torque, pressure sensor. What's this pressure sensor? Mode requested lock. Well, I think there's a mechanical failure in that differential because the motor runs on that pump assembly. I think it's a pump and hydraulically locks like a Haldex clutch, if I recall correctly. So I'm going to say there's a catastrophic failure in the rear diff. Let's see what system tests there are. Clutch learning read, clutch learning reset, clutch learning write. Let's read the help. First, you should operate clutch learning read before replacing the four-wheel drive ECU. Second, please operate clutch learning reset after replacing the four-wheel drive ECU. Finally, operate clutch learning write. Well, that's if you're changing the ECU. We're not doing that. Interesting. Well, according to the service literature, it takes GL5, which is 7590 synthetic oil. Recommends to use Shell heavy-duty axle oil or equivalent. I have Valvoline, I think, or Lucas, one or the other. I don't want to let it leave here empty if we order parts for this thing. So I had a bit of a brain fart there. I realized that there was no oil in the diff for the hydraulic system to work, so I filled the rear diff, but it still doesn't work. So there's something catastrophically wrong inside the diff. You can hear the motor running. So just doing a little brief inspection here, and I see the backing plate is rusted out, but there's something making noise inside the parking brake assembly. The rear brakes are fairly good. The rotors aren't too rusty, but there's something going on inside this parking brake. You can hear it. And I found out from a dealership tech that there's a relearn procedure for the wear rate of the viscous clutch. And it has to be learned. Now, if you put a used differential assembly in, you really need the wear rate number from the original vehicle, and it'd be impossible to get that unless it's still in the vehicle. And of course, can communicate with a scan tool. This one has a wear rate number of 160,000 according to the scanner. But that's only if you were changing the entire, or if you're changing the differential assembly, or not the differential, the ECU assembly. What happened to my snap-on suite? Back. It's under system tests, clutch learning read. So it says key on, engine off, continue. This one is 160,000. Now I'd need to get that number theoretically off of the replacement differential assembly and the ECU associated with it in order to ensure that it's correct. I asked him what happens if you don't. He said it might engage harshly or overheat or slip. Or now the tires on this thing are all the original, as far as I can tell, are all evenly worn. They're not, the customer hasn't induced this problem by putting different size tires front to back, as far as I can tell. So I'm going to discuss this repair with the customer and we'll see what happens. So doing a little bit more research, turns out that this viscous coupler here is pre-filled from the factory, and there's no recommended service interval. There's no drain method of draining it or refilling it, and there's no capacity specifications for it. You can add oil through that pressure sensor in the top right there, you see in the top center of the screen, but that would only be necessary if it was leaking, and this one is bone dry. There's no signs of a leak, so I'm sure it has failed internally, but the oil in the diff is separate from the oil in the viscous coupler, from what I've learned. So there's that. I think we'll investigate the availability of new versus used parts and see what happens. So I'm looking at the specs in this differential fluid, and there's nothing metallic that I can see, like no large particles that are magnetic. I might have dropped some dirt in there from the yeah, it doesn't look like this particle here is not magnetic. Well, the clutch is $700 from the dealer. Buying a used one is a crapshoot. We'll have to see what's available.